All righty, we are recording. Welcome everybody. Good to have you back. If I look up to the right, it's because I'm letting somebody in. So if all is this, what is there to do? See, even the feeling of not being it is it.
Michael, that's kind of a trick question. Because, who are you talking to? You're talking to the me. It's only the me can do, which is okay.
Actually, Corey, it's just the opposite. The me actually doesn't do anything. Nothing. What do you know how to do? Even these words, do you know how to make these words appear right now? So everything being it doesn't leave anything out. There's nothing that's not it.
You wrote something like that on Facebook, but Tim Cleese said something like, it doesn't exist either.
Oh yeah.
Was that?
Yeah, I saw that. That was great. Yeah, thank you, Faith, for bringing that. I really felt like we should go into that, right? Because sounds a little crazy. So look at me, Nkosi smiling. Well, let's see.
What about this? Does this exist? Which is it that exists? Is it this or is it it? There was a cousin it in the Addams family, wasn't there? Go ahead, Mike.
Well, again, it may be helpful to start off by saying it's a paradox, okay? It's a paradox. That's a way for, so on the one hand, it's saying there's nothing that's not it, right? There's nothing that's not it. But then Tim is saying, and there's not even an it, because you can't find You can't find an it. So there's nothing that's not it, and yet there's no it. So nothing that's not it would be the everything. And what Tim was pointing to was the nothing. That you can't even find it because there is no it. So nothing is doing this. And even that's not right. Nothing's not doing this because nothing is nothing. But
Can I have a whack at this?
yeah, please go ahead, Dan.
Yeah, the way I would say it is the nothing and the everything are really the same. They're both placeholders for a word that we don't have, because there just isn't a word for it. So when Tim says it's not it either, it's not it, he means it's not the thing that we think of when we say the word it. It produces an idea in the mind, and it ain't that.
Right. Nice.
So we just keep pointing beyond until we don't, until the questions disappear and there's no place to land in it. It never resolves into anything in particular. It's kind of like that. So, but I'd like to hear from everybody. What does it mean to you guys? And
Well, the thing that I got recently was, I don't know if I mentioned it here or not, the surrealist Rene Magritte, and he has pictures of different objects. And I remember the one that was a picture of a tree, and underneath he wrote, "This is not a tree." And I've been looking and thinking about that picture for decades. And like in the last couple of weeks, it just hit me like a ton of bricks. It's not a tree. A tree is a label. We don't know what the hell it is. And then so I was thinking, well, if that's not a tree, then this isn't a me, you know? It's like I started kind of playing with that, you know, I was like, wait a minute, then hold on. So that's kind of where I am right now. It's like, stop the train.
Well, yeah, the word, what you're saying, Joan, is the word is not the thing. The label is not the word water, right? Look at the word water and then look at water. The word water and actual water have nothing at all in common.
It's a label.
And that's really good, Joan, because also like when you look at the tree, do you realize you're not seeing the inside of the tree? You're not seeing the roots of the tree. So you just go, boom, that's a tree. But there's so much more to that tree that is incomprehensible.
Yeah, the thing started to just come undone, you know? Just start like, oh, this isn't, so,
Right.
you know,
But
this isn't what you think it is,
Joan,
because thinking is a thing.
now take what you notice and now bring it to this moment. Because this is all that's happening. There's nothing else happening. And that is so freeing because you've been seeking something other than this for your whole life. And it is so goddamn painful. Let me repeat that. This is all that is, and I'm seeking for something other than this. If you were trying to design a way to suffer, you couldn't do better.
Experts. Everybody's an expert at it.
And by this, we mean whatever's here with before the story starts. Without the story, there's something that it doesn't have a story to it. And that's what's always, as we call reality. Again, there's the words don't, work. But as soon as the story shows up, that me shows up to fill the spot in the story. And then it's all about doing. It's all about knowing what's going on in the story and how can the me do what it needs to do with the story to make its, to fulfill the me's program. So if you look again, look at what's here without the story. No place for a person to start a story. That's kind of what it is. And we all know that. It's the most obvious thing that we're always living, but we're just so used to, the habit, we go right to the story.
Without you, this moment doesn't have a story.
And without a story, there's no you.
But the point is, and this is what was so beautiful last week when Nkosi really brought it home, that it doesn't matter. This is, I want to underline, whether it feels like a me or doesn't feel like a me, it doesn't matter. It's both this, because there's only this. And this can feel and appear as everything and anything, but it's just not you doing it. So like right now, if you have a thought that says, but I'm not there yet, that's it. That's it. That's it too. If you have a thought, I get it. I get it. That's it too.
I don't get it.
Ah!
Still it's. The seeker seeks for it, but itself it's nothing. The seeker seeks for it, but it can't be found. The one who looks for it cannot be found. So how can he find something? If nothing looks for nothing, what can be found? Nothing. Because even the me is nothing. So it's about nothing that is looking for nothing. This looks for itself and it finds itself. Nothing looks for nothing. Because there's no me. There seems to be me, but there's no me. It seems to exist, but it doesn't exist. Because all is this. There is no escape. You can't escape this. I can't get it, still this. I do get it, still this. No matter which direction the me takes, it will always be it. And we are all it. This is not apart from you. It is you and you are it.
It's a mic drop.
All the movements, all the ideas, all the plans, it is this. It is it. All of you are it. I'm it. And there's no us. It's just this. This is beyond words. It's beyond words. If even the words that you are hearing right now, you can't find them. There are no words. Look for the words that I'm speaking right now. There are no words. Where are the words? Where? Can't find them. Because there's only this. Yeah. This doesn't see the me. It sees itself. No matter who is talking, this doesn't see the me. It sees itself. When it talks to itself. There's nobody here. It's just this. Talking, having different ideas, having different opinions to itself.
You know, so much of the me is based on assumption. And the first assumption, so innocent, is when we were very young and we had the sense I exist. Right there. Because nothing can be separate from life.
It's like that's like the root, mistaken assumption. And then all the other ones get piled on, come from that. They stem from that. Seems like.
Right. Now, as Nkosi was saying, it's not wrong for this identification to happen. It's not wrong, but it is uncomfortable and it does cause suffering. But there's nothing inherently right or wrong about being, believing that you're a me or not, because as Nkosi said, it's the same. The one who believes they're a me and the one who doesn't, so that's another thing I loved about last week when Nkosi said it's all this. So whichever direction the me steps, whichever direction the me goes, it's only going to have this. So, something like could hit you across, like a 2x4 about that. Because the me's whole basis is there's something other than this. If there was just this moment, just whatever's happening,
I think it puts an end to judgment and complaining. And it's like, as soon as you think of something, well, this is it. It stops all of that mind chatter that wants to judge everything and complain. And that's why there was silence. There's nothing to be said.
that's really good.
My mind wanted to think about it. What about that? Oh, that's what it is. That's what it is. And it can be pretty terrifying when you think about some of what we say is good and bad in the world, and that's just it. Yeah.
And even the commentary, then if we beat ourselves up for, oh God, that was so stupid of me to say, that's it too.
Yeah.
And even wanting a hug or wanting to be validated is it too. That was so important for me to get that from what you shared, Nkosi, even though I've heard that many times, but I was reprimanding myself that I shouldn't want to be hugged, I shouldn't want to be validated, and all of those shoulds. And when I realized that they're all part of this, it's like there's just a softness that came over me that they were okay too.
After you, Dan.
It's on your mind, Charles.
I like the word life. You know, I like it. It's very process oriented. We sort of know what it means. People talk about my life. Blah, blah. I can't remember who said it, but the phrase, you know, there's no your life, there's just life. That's a real simple sort of disconnect between, you know, the perception of your own experience and bringing you to it in a way that makes it very shared, you know. Makes it very tangible how it's shared. This is not my life right now having this experience. This is just life. And it's the same life looking back at me in 11 windows. Turn this off. How about you? What were you going to say, Dan?
I like it. So what's the difference between life and my life? It's all this, it's all it, right?
There is no
So
my
whatever-
life.
Yeah, well,
It's just life. My life is an illusion.
yeah, maybe my life is, we could say, so Michael talked about assumptions. We've got a bunch of assumptions. These are like beliefs and what we think, everything I know. And it's like a whole, like array. And on top of that, stories get built. I build my story of my life. It all rests on these assumptions. But just this life, what it is, what Nkosi was talking about, what we're always pointing to, isn't supported by any assumptions. It's just here. It doesn't need anything. And like, you know, everything, all of our assumptions, all of our knowledge just gets folded back into it like the ocean. Once it goes, you know, it's not real, exactly. So how do we get distracted and off into the story? That's what we call suffering. We call, oh, my life, my problems, my heaviness, whatever. And it goes back to, we don't know, I don't know anything. I can assume I know all kinds of stuff, and then it's like a crunch of energy. That's how the cramp starts. From that, just it's all the assumption. And then we don't want to let go of the assumption because the assumption feels like it's protecting me. It's keeping the me alive. So that's why we kind of, you know, like to keep looking at that me. What is that me?
I I get a picture of of somebody with a hangman's, with a noose around their neck and standing on a box. And then whoever's killing them kicks the box out from underneath and they strangle. I just sort of feel as though what we speak about is like kicking that box out from underneath us. But and then we're left, well, then we're dead, aren't we? Like we can't breathe. But I don't know, somehow that illustration comes to my mind, and I wonder if it can be applied to the me. Because what we talk about here, it just sweeps, for me, it sweeps away everything, all the thoughts, beliefs, whatever. And that's like kicking the box out from underneath. And maybe that's why we suffer, because we're not prepared to let that box be kicked out, all those things be kicked out from underneath us. We're too frightened. I don't know.
Die before you die.
Yeah.
But that assumes there was a me to die. Like Nkosi said, look now. Look right now, this moment for the me. See if you can find it. Look for the one who's speaking. Look for the one who's making these words appear. Look for the one that's hearing these words.
Look for the man in the noose.
Yeah, nice. That's a great, I like that. It could be a book title. Look for the man in the noose. Yeah, because you assume it's you, but there's only life.
Yeah, so that's what's so comforting about how Nkosi expressed it last time. Yeah, because it just sweeps away everything, and I don't know, just then you're left with nothing, and nothing's so sweet, really, isn't it?
There is love, peace, and harmony everywhere.
Oh, I have a question for you, Nkosi. From last week, you made a statement and I wanted to ask you about it. You said, this is like a play.
Yeah. When this looks at the characters, it sees itself. You know, it doesn't see Michael Jeffries. It doesn't see Nkosi. It doesn't see David or anyone. It just sees itself. So to this, all the characters are just in the play. You know, this is talking to itself. This is arguing with itself. This is uh, this is just this. You know, it's it's superficial. It's superficial. It's like it is just, how can I put this? Okay, let me put it in this way. There's nobody else, it's just myself. It's just, when this looks at the characters, it sees itself. There's nobody here. It's just, you know, so it looks like a play. There's nothing serious. Whatever situation going on anywhere, this doesn't take that situation seriously. It's just happening. Everything is just happening. Nobody's doing anything. Nobody's talking. Nobody's walking. Nobody is teaching.
Can I ask you a question, Koshi?
Yes.
Are you speaking from direct experience? From what you've read?
Yeah.
It's direct experience. How did you get there?
Oh. I mean, I don't know how to explain this. I didn't get anyway.
All right, all right. How did it happen?
There's always been this. There's always been this. I didn't get anyway. I don't know how to put it. I don't know how to explain it.
So you're telling me that
I-
there was a
This character, I used to have glimpses. You know, before I used to have glimpses. Like there was a time there where there was detachment. I could see Nkosi talking, Nkosi doing this and this. That, you know, that experience faded, and then there was a time where I had other glimpses as well. I could see, um, I could see this character. I could see like everything one. Could see oneness. You know. Yeah, but there was a time where the me just faded away. But right now, it seems there seems to be this character, but everything is superficial. You know what I'm trying to say? It's superficial. It doesn't make sense. But you can't tell this to anyone. Just you keep it to yourself. Just.
I'm curious how many people you run across or whatever where you're living that are onto this. Because it seems it's few and far between, you know, in, you know, meeting people that are onto this here in the States. How is it where you are as far as this knowing is, how prevalent is that?
Yeah, nobody resonates with this. Nobody, even so-called friends, they
don't get it.
they don't just get it. They don't resonate with it. Yeah.
I don't run across a lot of people that are onto this.
And that's the real problem for Joan. I've been hearing about it.
I don't know how this happens. I mean, Yeah, I don't even know how it happened.
Here's the secret. Joan's going to have a problem with no matter what. If tomorrow 8 billion people started talking like Nkosi talks, Joan is still not going to be happy with it.
True. True.
So better to let her live her own business. What's here doesn't need any story.
Yeah, what's here doesn't need you. How beautiful is that?
I guess that cancels my subscription, huh?
The play is perfect. That's the thing. All the characters are going on. The play, it's like, it couldn't get any better. It couldn't be more full. That's why we say it's everything, it's fullness, except not for any of the individual characters. If they're starting to tell a story from their point of view, and how then the fullness is turned into a I don't know, a fragment, and the character, I need to now fill in the rest of the story, and I'm not going to be happy until I've, I don't know, I'm just trying to explain it, it's but that's not the story. The story that's going on is the story that Nkosi was just telling, which is, it's just all here. All the characters, all the action, there's nothing else.
And this doesn't mind.
This doesn't mind. And the character in the story is always going to mind, because it's always looking for something else, looking for the next scene.
Oh,
And the next scene never comes, because this is it. It's always been it.
Krishnamurti had a talk, and he opened it up by saying, there's only one difference between you and me, and the difference is I don't mind.
Yeah.
That's how he opened the talk. It was really beautiful. Oh my God.
Well, you've convinced yourself that you mind for now, for a while. We're trying to maybe encourage you to see that maybe you don't mind so much. Maybe there's more to the story, or the no story.
I would just say it's not you minding.
Yeah.
It's the character.
No, but you don't know how to think about it. How would you make irritation arise? If you could make it arise, then you would know how to make it go away. By the way, if you ever feel like you need a laugh, I found a 23-second clip of Tim Kliss losing it with a couple of people at the end of his Zoom meeting, and I cut out just that 23 and posted it up on YouTube. It just says Tim Kliss LOL and a little like happy face. But it's kind of addictive because I guess that old endorphin thing when somebody's laughing and they're feeling good, and it's not just him, there's several people laughing, which often is contagious. That's why they use laugh tracks, because when you hear others laughing, it gets you to laugh. So, and then I had also last week Nkosi's beautiful, just 3 minutes. It wasn't very long, but it was so powerful and it so touched me that I felt like it cried out for its own separate clip. So that's up on YouTube. And it's really great just to watch those 3 minutes again. And it just takes you right back, you know, out of your head, out of your thoughts.
Do you have these on YouTube on your non-duality site?
Just, yeah, they're on the Facebook non-duality community, and they're also on Michael Jeffrey's my personal YouTube.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other last comments, questions, sharings?
Just to say that I'm very grateful for the way Nkosi expresses what he does about this. Like this doesn't care, and I don't know, but it's refreshing, and I'm very thankful for your view, yeah, your perspective maybe, which I haven't heard from others, and it's very comforting and reassuring. So thank you.
Yeah, it's beautiful. You know, it's funny because people talk about, they use the word non-duality, not two, but not two would mean it couldn't leave anything out. So the good, the bad, the ugly, the voice in the head, the fear, the anxiety, the love, all of it. All is it. Even the trying to get it is it. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Everybody, great job. So good to have all of you here in Nkosi. Thanks very much, my friend.
Thank you.
And,
Welcome.
thank you. And I'll get
Thank
this
you,
up
Michael.
on YouTube.
Thanks, Nkosi.
Thank
Thanks,
you.
everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Michael.
Thanks, you guys. Have a great night.
You too.
Bye.
Too.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.